Offensive. Just near me, we can see there are thousands of army tanks.
There's this aircraft and one other from the UAE.
They're the people we turn to in times of war to help us understand what's happening in some of the world's most dangerous places.
All right, please take cover.
They've woken up from another difficult night and now they face day 4 of this invasion.
This is Isabella Higgins. She's worked as a foreign correspondent for the ABC and knows what it's like to report from a war zone.
I was in Ukraine in 2022 when the war with Russia started. I was in the country when those very first air raid alarms went off at about 5 a.m. in the morning. And it was our job to tell Australians what was going on.
The Ukrainians have woken up from a very, very difficult night. Of course, we know that the capital has been under a sustained and relentless attack throughout the night. He's racing to help his young comrades.
What was it like? Because obviously, it's a very dangerous job.
You wonder what's going to happen next. You wonder if the next loud bang is going to be even closer. Are you going to be lucky enough to make it down to the bomb shelter? You realise you are putting your own safety and your own life on the line for this job.
From here, Ukraine has just launched a strike and they're monitoring now, waiting for Russia's counterattack.
Isabella says war reporters take on that danger to try to give people an honest and balanced picture of what's going on.
Obviously today we live in a world where there's so much video, there's so many photos online that we almost don't know what to believe. And journalists are sent to these places to help people around the world understand what they're seeing.
But rarely do you see the camera and the men behind it.
For a long time, people have recognised how important war reporting is as a record of history and a way of holding the powerful accountable. It's why journalists are given special protections under international law. As long as they're not taking part in the fighting, they have to be treated as civilians. And deliberately attacking or harming them is a war crime. It's why they often have the word press clearly labelled on their clothes and vehicles, so they're not mistaken for members of the military. But even with the right protection and training, journalists are not guaranteed safety. Over the past 30 years, more than 2,200 journalists and media workers have died while reporting from war zones. And last year, we saw the highest death toll since these records began, most happening across Gaza.
At least 242 journalists have been killed in Gaza since the war began.
Israel isn't letting international media move freely inside of Gaza because it says it's too dangerous, which means international media are relying on Palestinian reporters, and many have criticised Israel's leaders for not doing enough to protect them.
At least 20 people have been killed, including 5 journalists, after the Israeli military struck a hospital in Gaza twice within 10 minutes.
Israel apologised for this attack, which killed 5 journalists, calling it a tragic mishap.
We are operating in an extremely complex reality. Hamas terrorists deliberately use civilian infrastructure, including hospitals, as shields. They have even operated from the Nasser hospital itself.
But it's made a lot of people around the world angry. And many leaders and advocates are calling for change.
These journalists are the eyes and the ears of the whole world, and they must be protected.